Hello everyone, Giltar here with an update for my channel. First of all, I just want to say the reason why I've been pretty absent on my channel for the last couple of weeks is that I've just been doing a lot of other stuff outside of my normal hobbies in my spare time. So if I'm not working, I've been just going out with my friends or doing other things, watching Kamen Rider, and just sort of getting outside because it's spring now, almost summer. And so the weather's really nice here. If you guys want to take a look, it's just really, blue skies, clear, no clouds, just a really great day. It's been really great weather for the past couple of weeks, so I've just been doing a lot of outdoor stuff. However, I am working on some model kits like the high-grade Universal Century 1:144 scale Unicorn Gundam in Destroy mode. I've got some action figures that recently arrived, like my Revoltech Saber Alter, S.i.c Figure Arts Zero Armor and Kasumi Armor figures, and also have the high-grade Infinite Justice model here, which I'll be reviewing probably the next several days, and it will be something a little different than what I normally do, and I'll be getting into that a little later on. So, I mean, that's just the basic rundown of what I've been doing lately. Just to let you guys know that I am not forgetting about my channel, and I still do have other things planned for it in the very near future. In addition to the Unicorn Gundam here in Destroy mode, I also have a few other kits that have arrived recently. I've got the high-grade Universal Century Stark Jagan Gira Doga, the Resin Schneider custom colors version, and Gira Zulu. I also have a Border Break model kit, the Heavy Guard 2 model. I've got that. I haven't assembled yet, but I plan on assembling that and reviewing it in the near future. Aside from that, I also wanted to point out a couple of things I found here at Nikyong's blog today. First of all, there's an interview with Mr. Baba, who's apparently the development team leader for the high-grade Universal Century Gunpla series for Unicorn Gundam. And it's a really great interview. It's linked from Gundamer.com, and Nikyong just posted some key points from the interview. So you guys should really check that out. It's some really interesting information about the model kits, their development, and just some information sort of behind the scenes. The most sort of interesting point for me was that at the end, you guys can't read this here, but basically it says, Mr. Baba is a Gunpla fan himself, and as someone who is married and has to work during the days, he finds the ease of assembly, basically the ability to complete a model in 1 or 2 hours, to be a very important aspect of Gunpla. And so, at least for the development leader for the Universal Century Unicorn Gundam high-grade kits, I think that's part of the, I guess, design philosophy behind these kits. And there's another part here where it also mentions ease of assembly. Yeah, certain gimmicks of a mobile suit in the story are often omitted for the high-grade Universal Century release because the Plamo series is meant for easy assembly. That's something very interesting for me. Now, maybe it's just I'm reading more into it, but it does sound like, even more so than normal, the HGUC kits, at least for Unicorn Gundam, are heading more towards a user-friendly design, which I think is a good thing. Despite their relative ease of use, the Gunpla model kits are very well engineered, so I think it's a really great thing, to be honest. Another thing I wanted to mention is that earlier today, I was sort of commenting on one of Versus Z's videos, which was a response to Mead's Gundam poll about online shopping versus local hobby store shopping. And one of the things that Z brought up was his s.i.c action figure of Kuga, I believe in Ultimate Rising form. Really great looking action figure, by the way. And he was asking about in the comment section about the Kiwami Damashi figures. I did a little response, but I'm going to just sort of add a little more information here. Just for anybody who doesn't know, the s.i.c or Super Imaginative Chogokin line of action figures is by Bandai. It mainly deals with the Kamen Rider franchise, although there are some other figures from different tokusatsu franchises as well, like Hikaider and Kakaider, for example. But mostly they deal with Kamen Rider designs. And what s.i.c does is that, well, the super imaginative part comes into play where these designs are not entirely faithful or accurate to the costume designs of the shows. The super imaginative part really means that these are a different take on these designs, a more sort of organic or in some ways more realistic looking designs, and it takes the sort of more costume-like Kamen Rider suits and makes them more organic Kind of like if you've ever seen like Guyver, that manga or anime or those live action movies, is that kind of idea. Or if you watched Kamen Rider the First and the Next, where these costume designs are a little more realistic, a little more not necessarily organic, but just a little more realistic. It's that kind of idea. They're kind of like contemporizing these designs, and that's what these s.i.c figures do. Now, where the Kiwami Damashi line plays a role is that the Kiwami Damashi line is a sub-line of s.i.c. They're actually, the normal s.i.c figures are about 7 inches tall or so. The Kiwami Damashi figures are about 3.75 to 4 inches tall. They're smaller, they're scaled down, but they pretty much retain the same sculpt and details basically, and the paint applications are apparently very good as well. Now this is Kamen Rider Wild Chalice, and these are the 4 photos of the Kiwami Damashi figure that's coming out next month. Just to give you guys an idea, this is the figure, and these, although they're promotional photos, from what I've seen, the action figures look pretty much the same in the promo photos and their production models. So what you see is basically what you get, and as you can see, very highly detailed. And keep in mind again, this is a roughly 4-inch action figure. Extremely impressive details. The articulation is pretty good too. Another thing I want to mention about the s.i.c and articulation is that there are 54 figures or sets of s.i.c figures out at this time. Well, not out yet. The 54th one is s.i.c and Dark Kiva, which is coming out I think next month. And I pre-ordered that. Anyways, it wasn't until volume 40, which is the second molding of Agito, and that set also includes the Machine Tornado motorcycle. From what I've read and heard, people basically agree that it wasn't until Agito and Machine Tornado that this s.i.c line really turned a significant point in design, because up until that point, these were just extremely well sculpted statues essentially with limited articulation. But once Machine Tornado and Agito arrived at volume 40 of s.i.c, that's when it really became really good action figures with good articulation and good sculpting and paint applications and so on. Now, I pre-ordered, like I mentioned, volume 54, which is s.i.c and Dark Kiva. I also ordered s.i.c 52 or 50, I think it was 50, s.i.c volume 50, which is Kiva. So I've got that action figure ordered, and once I get that, I'll be reviewing that shortly after. There are not a lot of s.i.c figure reviews here on YouTube, partly because I think these are pretty expensive products. So not a lot of people have them, or if they do, they don't have a lot of them. But I do plan on adding my sort of perspective on these figures once I receive mine. And yeah, so that's the whole Kiwami Damashi figure line. It's a subline of s.i.c. There's smaller scaled versions of the big figures, and from what I've seen, they shouldn't disappoint. I also ordered, I believe, s.i.c Kiwami Damashi Kamen Rider Hibiki, so I'll be getting that soon as well, and I'll review it once I get it. Actually, if you guys want to see a really good review of that figure, go to Evangelist's channel. He reviewed it, I think, last year, and some other people have reviewed those figures as well in the Kiwami Damashi line, so check them out. So again, this is just some information about s.i.c for anybody interested, for Versus Z especially, because he was asking about the Kiwami Damashi line, and yeah, that's it. So again, that's my sort of review, or not review, but update on my channel, just to let you guys know what's been happening and what's going to be coming up in the near future. So again, thank you all for your patience. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.